talk about is the Miami Heat. Last year finished 46-36. They finished 21st in offensive rating, 5th in defensive rating. They are over the first apron. They're slightly under the second apron by $1 million. And there are people that are, contract situations, keep your eyes out on for Miami. Jimmy Butler got 1 year left. He has 1 year left on his contract. He has a player option for that following year. But obviously, we know this last summer, Jimmy wanted a contract extension, and they didn't give it to him. And so he's going to be hungry. Jimmy's going to be hungry this year. So obviously, Jimmy, somebody keep your eyes out on because, Jimmy going to come hungry. He going to come with it. Another player with 1 year left on their deal is Terry Rozier. The following next year is non-guaranteed for Terry Rozier. Duncan Robinson has 1 year left on his deal. 1 year left on his deal. Next year, he has the team has an early termination option. So basically, it's basically like a player option. Just basically, so if he options in, he basically become a free agent. So really weird there, but it's early termination option for Duncan Robinson going into next season if he chose to do that. Josh Richardson has 1 year left on his deal. Alec Burks has 1 year left on his deal. Thomas Bryant has 1 year left on his deal. So that's their contract situation. A lot of people, a lot of 1 year deals, a lot of players going to be trying to prove themselves. Or who knows, maybe Miami will package him up, ship him out, because Miami still got a little draft capital flexibility. So who knows, maybe they'll package up players and ship him out. But yeah, we know Jimmy gonna come because Jimmy trying to get that money. Rookie expectations. So this player, I've been talking about him in my pre-draft. I've been talking about him in my post-draft. I've talked about him during my summer league episode, and I'm pretty high on him. I think this guy is the player Miami needed, and when they drafted him, I was like, yes, I was happy for them. Full disclosure, I'm not a Miami Heat fan. I don't have any ties to any team, because to me, if you're going to be talking basketball, for me, I like to do it objectively, and I don't want my emotions to be involved with me analyzing the game and giving my opinion. Okay, so I'm talking about Khalil Ware, and I think I might be pronouncing his name wrong, but Khalil Ware is what I'm reading. Khalil Ware, he went to U of O, then he transferred to Indiana. He was a very highly rated kid out of high school. I think he was like 10th or 11th in his draft class. Again, I have no notes on this at all. Don't have notes on it, just straight off the dome. But, so yeah, he was highly rated in high school, went to Oregon, didn't work out, went to Indiana, played for the Hoosiers, played very well, got drafted by the Heat, and I've been talking about him, and I think he is on my radar. And again, I'm not trying to give you guys too much for the next episode, but he's a player that's on my radar. He's on my radar for Rookie of the Year. I'm just going to say it. He's one of my players that's like on my radar. Doesn't mean I'm going to choose him as like my Rookie of the Year winner or like in my finalist, but he's somebody that's for sure on my short list of players because I've been high on him. The only thing about him I don't like is his little funky hook shot that he be doing. I hate that little nasty hook shot that he be doing. But I do believe at the beginning of the year he might come off the bench. I do believe at some point throughout the season, and I could be wrong, but I do believe at some point he will start for the Miami Heat. Bam, and I've been saying it for years, and I wish I was on this pod for years because you guys would have heard me over the years. Bam Adebayo needs to be a power forward. He is your four-man. He is not a center. That's not him, okay? That's not his position. We've seen him get burnt in the playoffs. It just doesn't work. And that's okay because Bam is an amazing player. But I think Bam needs to be your 4 and Khalil Ware should be your 5. Khalil Ware can step out and shoot the 3 too a little bit, just so you guys know. If you think that if that's going to cause problems in the lane, I don't think so. And we seen Bam was willing to take threes at the end of last season and into the Olympics. So I think Khalil Ware is somebody to keep your eyes on because he may be starting at some point. And also check out my pod from last summer. I literally did the same thing with Derek Lively. Last summer when I talked about the draft last year when he got drafted by Dallas, I literally came on and did my audio podcast. That's on Spotify. Link in the description. I literally said Derek Lively's probably going to start for Dallas. He didn't start, but he got pretty much started minutes. Him and Daniel Gafford split the minutes, okay? So I think Khalil Ware is going to get a lot of minutes this year to really show his talents. So this team's floor and ceiling, in my opinion, I think Miami is going to be I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it'll be a first round. It's going to be a first round competitive series, whoever they play. I think their ceiling is a second round competitive series. And again, I'm just being vague. You'll get more of my predictions later on in another episode down the line. My opinion, I'm very excited to see Bam. I'm excited to see Bam play the 4-man. I really hope they do it. I don't know if they'll do it. Maybe they'll just keep him at 5, but Why are you drafting a big man that high up in the draft if he's not going to start next to Bam? To me, that just makes no sense. So I expect him to play the 4-man. I'm excited to see Jimmy be hungry because I feel like last season Jimmy kind of was not it. I feel like Jimmy was kind of just being lackadaisical around the court. Another one of my opinions is that this may be the last year we see this version of the Heat. Let's say Jimmy does get hurt. Let's say Jimmy does, decline, which I don't necessarily think he will because I think he takes pretty good care of his body for the most part. Obviously, he's had his injuries, but, I think Jimmy takes care of his body pretty well. Like, this could be the last iteration of the Heat we see. We may be going into a new regime of the Heat. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's my opinion. Players to watch for the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler being hungry. It's a contract year. Nikola Jovic. What happens with him? Does he stay in the starting lineup? Does he go back to the bench? I'm interested to see what happens with him in this next year because Jovic got a jumper. In my opinion, he got a strap. He has a strap. I just don't know if Miami's going to really unlock him. I don't know if they're going to let him really get, do his thing. We'll see what happens there. And then we got another player on my watch list is Jaime Jaquez. I think Jaime's going to come off the bench. Again, I'm trying not to give you guys too much, but he's also on my short list of players for 6th man of the year. I'm going to just put that out there. He's on my short list of 6th man of the year. Very efficient player. I really like Jaime's game. Yeah, so those are my players to watch. Their draft capital. Miami's 1 through 14, they keep it. 15 through 30 goes to OKC, and that's in 25. 26, if it hasn't already been settled, it goes to OKC. 27, 1 through 14, they keep it. 15 through 30 to Charlotte. 28 is to Charlotte if it hasn't already been conveyed. 29, 30, and 31, they keep it. If you have any, give me your opinion on the Miami Heat. If you feel like there was things that I missed out on the Heat or players I should have talked about for players to watch, please let me know. Leave your comments down below. Okay? Next team I want to talk about